Now, first, sorry, the National Health Insurance Authority says it is stepping up efforts to curb fraud at some of its centers with the introduction of an authentication device. The device, according to the authority, will be used mainly at areas noted for health insurance fraud. Deputy Chief of the National Health Insurance Scheme, Dr. Baba Janiselvi, spoke with Joy News when a delegation from the Ministry of Health in Mali visited the head office of the NHIA.
40 million people used biometric authentication to vote just recently. It's not that big a challenge. It's just that health has peculiar aspects. For the elections, it is 1 day in 4 years. We can all go through that. For health, it is a daily occurrence. The authentication machines are not that cheap. So again, we have to use it wisely. We have to put it in areas where we may suspect fraud, areas of high volume. There's no point in putting it at a CHIPS compound that sees 10 patients a month. So there are lots of different ways we are using to try to mitigate the fraud aspect. Everything has a cost. Everything has a cost. So you have to balance out, is the cost worth the benefit you are going to get? And so, as I said, it's about placing the machines in strategic places to make sure that the benefit we're getting is more than the cost.
All right, thank you.
Leader of the delegation from Mali, Dr. Douga Kamara, speaking through an interpreter, mentioned that Ghana has advanced in healthcare insurance as compared to Mali and that it is their desire to learn from their neighbors.
Non, bon, on ne sait pas à peu près, mais on a décidé de visiter 2 pays africains, puis 2 pays européens. On suppose que le Ghana est en avance sur nous par rapport à la couverture maladie sanitaire. C'est pourquoi on a décidé de faire une visite ici.
Okay, we have decided to come here because we know that Ghana is a bit forward compared to Mali. Because in Mali, we have decided to visit 2 African countries and 2 European countries. And the choice of Ghana, we think that is the best.
On souhaite quand même voir, puisque nous, on est à 22%. Donc la couverture de 80% pour la 100%, c'est ça qui nous pose problème. Donc ça, cette partie concerne les paysans, ceux qui ne sont pas dans un système formel. Donc c'est ça qui va être intéressant. Et puis mettre en place les mécanismes de gestion pour ce qu'on a soit bien géré.
Okay, the principal objective is to learn how to improve our system in Mali, because over there we have 22% and we are looking for 100% to cover all the country. This is the principal goal.
C'est comme les autres pays, mais la difficulté quand même c'est la gestion, la mobilisation des ressources, puisque pour couvrir les paysans, il faut faire des mutuelles de santé. Donc c'est là-bas on est à 5%. Donc ça veut dire que c'est un effort qui est demandé.
It is just like all the other African countries. The only problem is that we are a bit, let us say, late. And we hope to try and cover all the country for the next years.
Now, police had also here in Accra say they will prosecute a bouncer at a pub for allegedly assaulting a female patron over a disagreement. The victim, Portia Santo-Adria, says he was slapped twice by the bouncer, identified as Daniel Ablo, leaving her with a swollen eye. According to her, this was after a banter with the bouncer who had asked her and her friends to leave the corner pub and grill after their table was cleared. District Crime Officer at the Osu Police Station, ASP Richard Dapla, tells Joy News' Beatrice Edu there is overwhelming evidence the suspect assaulted the victim.
They thought that they were not spending money as others are doing, and they wanted them to come and take over their place, and this resulted into the court.
What we are learning is that this lady was slapped at least more than once. Is that what you've also learned?
No, I only got the information that she was slapped. She was slapped. Whether it was more than once or not, that I don't know. If yes, I was told he was slapped and somebody intervened immediately.
So where is the suspect now?
In custody, and we are preparing him for court.
Earlier, you were telling us off record that there is overwhelming evidence against the man. What do you mean by that, by what you said?
It means that the people who were present or witnesses around all testified in favor of the complainant. And whatever they said went in favor of the complainant.
How was the
evidence is overwhelming. So we needed not to even do anything. It was just a straightforward case. It's a straightforward case.
How was the arrest effected?
No, he reported himself at the station. The suspect reported himself at the station. That is on the 20th.
So you're saying that the docket is ready for court. Yeah. When are you going to court?
The docket has a procedure. It goes to the court law office, to the court office for the court officer to also peruse. Yeah, so it takes, I cannot tell you today or tomorrow, but within the week.
There is a group of women in media who are calling for the victim be taken care of. Will that be something the police will also pursue?
No. Ours is to ensure the case goes to court. The court is the most important thing. Every case has its unique way of handling it. Now it has come and then there is overwhelming evidence against the suspect. So we simply put the matter before the court for the court to take a decision.
Deputy Chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee, Collins Owusu-Amankwa, wants the Ghana Police Service to, as a matter of urgency, digitize the records of all firearm owners and do away with the manual system of retrieving and filing of records. Speaking at a media interaction on Monday, Mr. Amankwa described the proliferation of illegal arms in the country as alarming and called on the Interior Ministry to embark on an operation to retrieve all such illegal weapons.
The rate at which illicit guns ownership is on ascendancy is very, very worrying. And I think the time is now. So I'm here this morning calling on the Ministry of Interior to, as a matter of urgency, embark on operation, surrender all illegal arms, so as to track this illicit guns ownership that is seriously on ascendancy. As a country, we need to, as it were, come out with a strategic plan to curb such situation. We have a poor data when it comes to licensing of registered guns. So what we are calling on the Firearms Division of Ghana Police Service, that we need to digitize the old manual way of retrieving and also filing records. We need to computerize the system so that we can track all the arms in the system. We need to be more sophisticated. We need to have accurate data, because we are not living in Banana Republic. People are holding guns with impunity. We need to question them.
We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, but we have more news coming up, including the minority taking issue with comments by the ICGC overseer regarding the collapse of Capital Bank, a bank he owned shares in and whose board he chaired. Pastor Mentor Otabil told his congregation on Sunday the experience has been a reality check.
People are insulting you. People who have no right to insult you are insulting you. People who look like an insult to themselves are insulting you.
But the minority MPs say his remarks are rather unfortunate. We have that coming up. Please stay tuned. Now, some members of the minority in Parliament have taken issue with recent comments by the founder of the International Central Gospel Church regarding the collapse of Capital Bank. Pastor Mensa Otabil, who owns a stake in the now defunct bank and also chaired its board, told his congregation on Sunday the collapse of the bank and the fallout hit him quite hard, adding that it took quite some effort to get him to overcome the predicament. He have urged the congregants to stay strong, as the turbulence was rather a sign of good things to come. Pastor Otabil also had some words for his critics.
And I experienced quite a bit of that this week. Reality. Reality is when you hear stuff you don't want to hear, when people are insulting you, people who have no right to insult you are insulting you. People who look like an insult themselves are insulting you. And you say, wow, thank you, Lord. Thank God for mercy, for giving him grace to insult me. Because if God had not given that person permission, they wouldn't be able to do it. But that's reality. The reality is, you know, there are people that when you are down, they feel up. Because they've been down for so long that when you are down, they feel I have climbed the Lord. Not that they have climbed, but they are happy that somebody is down. There are people who will kick you when you are down. And sometimes people you have helped will kick you when you are down. People you have encouraged will kick you when you are down. It's the reality. This year at Greater Works, there was a massive transfer that took place. Massive. What happened? You have no idea. It wasn't just us meeting. We took the destiny of the nation from poverty to prosperity. We changed the story of Ghana at that Independence Square. In that place, Ghana was reclaimed. We poked the devil's eye. And when you poke somebody's eye, he will hit your hand. So what we experienced is a hand hitting. Why do you think every attack since Greater Works has been about wealth and about money and about economy? Because we shifted something in the realm of the spirit. The Bible says concerning the promise of the Messiah, he says that he will bruise the head of the serpent. But he says he will also bruise your heel. You can't bruise the serpent's head and go scot-free. He will touch your heel, but thank God the heel is just a heel. It will heal. But the head is broken, it will not heal. God has given us the victory. There is wealth transfer. There is massive explosion. There is great opportunity. I am totally persuaded, without any shadow of doubt, that we have entered into massive wealth. We have entered there. And in the next 10 years, what this church will do in terms of its projects will far exceed everything we have ever done.
The video, by the way, was courtesy the church's Facebook page. But MP for Tamale North, Al-Hassan Suyini, has described the comments by Pastor Vincent Otabil as inappropriate. He spoke on the AM show.
I think that even as we sympathize with him, I would wish that he also sympathizes with the people who trusted them and decided to do business with them. I don't think that his response is godly. I think that the Bible, the Quran, all teaches us to season our words, to make sure that we do not respond to people who are vile in like manner, and I am surprised that he chose to do even worse, because if I insult you and you in response say I look like an insult, that is not godly, and especially for him to choose a pulpit to do that is simply,
the fact that he said it and it was not godly, but does it mean also you have to throw aspersions and insinuations at godly people, so-called godly?
No, so that's why I'm saying that, you see, even those of us who are not referred to as men of God, our religions, both Islam and Christianity, teaches us to be very accommodating of people who are vile towards us. It teaches us. So it tells you that there's a higher calling for one who is referred to as a man of God.
Now, it will be recalled that the minority in Parliament last week held a news conference where they demanded a bipartisan probe into how the actions and inactions of the directors of the banks may have led to its collapse. The minority want the man of God to rather react to allegations the board of directors, including Pastor Otabil, may not have managed the bank properly. Now, staff at the Pantang Hospital say they may in the coming days abandon posts as a precautionary measure following the invasion of a section of the facility by land guards. Portions of the hospital's lands have been leveled by a private developer who is busily putting up a property on the contentious land, a situation hospital authorities believe threatening staff of the facility. Communications Director of the Pantang Psychiatric Hospital, Elvis Kwama, says they will stay away from work if the relevant authorities fail to act. Latif Idris has more.
So in the background, you can see the land guards who are doubling as masons and contractors working on the property that, according to officers here at Pantang Hospital, is threatening the very existence of the health facility. Now, the authorities have had cause to lock themselves up in their own offices throughout the day today, Monday. The fear is that if authorities do not act fast, officers here at Pantang Hospital would have no option but to abandon their post to protect their own lives.
He's scared. I have not come out of my office the whole of the day. Okay? Twice we've called the police to the site today. And it's not looking like they are barging. And from the, signals that we are picking, they just go, find some place to hide when nobody is there. They come back again. For how long are we going to be, putting up with such a situation?
You think the security agency is not living up to expectations?
Well, we have called the police and they've come in twice today. Okay? Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow morning. And so we are saying that, look, we have authorities in this country. There's a whole lands commission. There's a district assembly. There is a minister for lands and natural resources. There's a minister of health. The committees in parliament. Good thing we applaud them. They have come to see the extent of the problem. They've given directives. They are looking into the matter. But whilst at this, somebody is flouting the directives. Yes, we are threatened. It's a hospital, for crying out loud, for God's sake. Okay, we are health professionals. And what we need is a serene environment where we deliver health care. Our patients will need a serene environment being taken care of by people who are not afraid. We have gone through the processes formally. We've reported to the appropriate authorities. They've come. They've issued a directive. We are waiting. But it appears that whilst we all wait, somebody is flouting the directives. And we are saying that the authorities should act and bring people to order.
If they don't?
Well, then we will take steps to feel safe. So if it means that we don't feel safe coming to work, we stay out of work.
They are coming here and then they are coming wooden down there at the patient farm. And then one lady make a farm there, small farm there, over there. And they come to with the farm all, the corn, they build the corn. Those land guards. And then we tell them to come and pay. They say we rather come and stay at their land. So they can't pay us. So whatever we like, we should do it. And then they called one of their boss. And then their boss told us that they can not pay us because we still in land. So everywhere we want, we should go. So that one there. And then today, I went to the administration go and report because Saturday administration no work. And then today I went to administration go and report. And then DDNS come and watch it. So that moment, we went to police station go and plead the police.
World Vision has commissioned 22 boreholes for disaster-prone communities in the Bumprugu-Nyonyo district of the northern region. The boreholes have been mechanized to make it easy for the community members to draw water without difficulty. Martina Bogre has more.
At a symbolic commissioning of one of the boreholes in Bumprugu, the Northern Regional Manager of World Vision, Timothy Amangbe, charged the people to own the project. He warned that World Vision will not return to the communities to fix the boreholes if they break down. Mr. Amangbe said it is the responsibility of beneficiary communities to manage the project. He said with the training given to managers of the pump volunteers, he expects them to mobilize local resources for local maintenance purposes.
This is an opportunity for we as community members to rise up and own the process that is for us. The facilities that we have put in place in this district we won't come back. Let me emphasize. We won't come back to rehabilitate them. It is a responsibility of the community that is the sole beneficiary of this facility to take charge and manage this facility until your children comes to drink from it. It will be a shame to walk back here and to say, I am repairing boreholes. Once we have provided a facility, please, it is yours, and you must see it as your property.
Assistant Project Manager of UN Habitat, Alexander Obobi Sadako, said the project being funded by UN Habitat is being implemented in 24 districts of the 3 northern regions and in 265 communities.
This project is actually funded by the government of Canada, and these United Nations agencies sought for the funds to do this project. The project is actually in the 3 northern regions, and we are working currently in 24 districts, and we are working also in 265 communities in the whole of northern Ghana. These are but a few of those communities which are disaster prone. And we are unable to also supply water to the fullest, to the satisfaction of even all the communities.
A community member, Malahio Yilar, said the construction of the borehole is timely as it will help manage outbreak of waterborne diseases in that community.
At the time we did not have the borehole, we used polluted water from other sources. Now we thank World Vision for giving us the borehole so our families will be safe and strong.
World Vision for the Yens, you way am ye don't massy papa, I mustn't see ye numerous your fibio. Until your man so bet me anya hondi sincere.
World Vision later donated school materials to the pupils of the community.
Watching Joy News Prime, we're taking a break, to which will bring you business, but still ahead in the bulletin. Police MTTD described as disappointing government's decision to suspend the mandatory toll levy following massive public outcry. We have that and more coming up. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, welcome to Business on Joy News Prime. Now, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, says it will be deploying customer service officers at the Tema Port. This is in response to protests by freight forwarders against the challenges with the paperless system being piloted. The customer service officers, according to the GPHA, would help clearing agents, exporters and importers transact business at the ports. Stakeholders have been engaging to iron out the rough edges before full implementation of the paperless system next month. But the freight forwarders appear not to be convinced about the assurances given so far. Here's Ebenezer Sabote's report.
From September this year, operations of the Tema and Takoradi Port will be done electronically through devices to be used by port officials and stakeholders in order to address the many concerns by the Ghana freight forwarders, clearing agents, exporters and importers. The Ghana Port and Harbours Authority has revealed plans to establish customer service centres at some key areas to help stakeholders who will be having challenges with the operations. Acting Communications and Marketing Manager of the GPHA, Esther Donko, disclosed this in an interview at the sidelines of an engagement with some journalists in Accra.
Some people, obviously, for their own interest, may not be happy with the system, and so things can happen. Of course, we are at the trial stage, issues are coming, but that all will not go away at this stage. So come 1st September, obviously, when we are implementing the system, we should expect people not knowing exactly what to do at certain stages, and so we are trying to put the customer service centers around so that people can be helped out with the technical things to do around. And I believe we are prepared. So as they come, we'll solve them and move along. And then I know that, after implementing for a while, the system will improve.
On his part, President of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Kwabena Ofosu-Appiah, said though they are not too satisfied with the turn of event, they are hopeful for a better service moving forward.
I am not satisfied, but there is hope. You know, between the time of the Vice President's announcement and the delivery date, you can agree with me also that it's very audacious. The 1st September timeline is audacious, but we can take comfort in the fact that the processes that will lead to the paperlessness is not too alien to us. We are used to these processes. It is just that they are being harmonized in such a manner that they don't exist as independent silos. So, you know, in time past, it was difficult for independent entities to agree on their own to integrate. But now, because there is this will by the Vice President, what he has injected into the whole arrangement makes it such that it is almost assuming a law status now that you have to comply or you will be set aside. That ingredient is what is unique and bringing everybody together to create that ecosystem within which the paperlessness can be delivered.
The engagement is part of initiatives by the Ministry of Transport to sensitize the public on the paperless operations, which is expected next month.
Government, through the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, is engaging hundreds of potential local and international investors on the business opportunities available in the various sectors of the economy at the 2017 Ghana Investment Summit. The summit, according to Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo, is aimed at assuring potential investors of the stimulus packages government has set aside, especially for the expansion of the private sector. Here's Charles Aite's report.
The first ever Ghana Investment Summit saw several captains of industry, including both local and international investors, deliberate on the business opportunities available in the country. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, says government is hopeful of attracting about 200 investors by the end of the year.
The opportunities for industrialization are also remarkable in the sense that we are resource rich. And therefore, if we are to actually facilitate investment inwards to develop these resources, you create a win-win situation. But more importantly, as an investment destination, Ghana is in the middle of the world. We are probably the only country that you find closest to latitude zero, longitude zero. And we are very well positioned in West Africa.
On his part, Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo hinted of a downward review of investment risks the private sector is currently faced with.
If you run an economy where your inflation runs into 40+%, it means the money he's holding, he brought in money, and with time, that money is eroding. So when you talk about protection of investment, it takes different angles. One, you must protect the investment in value and in volume, because you are running a good macroeconomic stability. Inflation is low. He came in, your inflation was 10%, and it remains 10% or lower. So you are protecting that investment. Two, you should have enough reserves for the investor to be able to transfer his profit or even his capital out of the country when need be. So you must provide all this to the foreign investor and to the local investor as well, so that people feel comfortable that money is theirs, they do what they like with the money.
So far, government has declared this as a new era of investment in Ghana and has therefore vowed to restore the country's fiscal health, boost confidence in the economy, as well as drive growth and job creation across the private sector.
On to industry now, and the Association of Ghana Industries is introducing a product seal standardization mechanism for manufacturers. The quality assurance method known as Obasima Seal is aimed at strengthening local industries against undue foreign competition. Prince Appiah has more.
At a sensitization seminar in Kumasi, where the seal was introduced to members, Chief Executive of AGI, Seth Chumakwabwa, tells Slough Business The move will compel Ghanaian firms to produce high-quality products.
We are not introducing anything new. We are only saying that the products you are producing, make sure that you go through a certain system of checks. And indeed, some of the products, I believe, meet these requirements already. Some of them have all these nutrients. But others, maybe with a bit of education, even how you package your product, even how you expose it to the sun, how you display it. When it comes to the imports, competing with our local market, it is also part of the reason why we are doing this. When you do things like this, and you are assuring consumers of a certain quality, this is a market guarantee or consumer guarantee scheme. So you are telling the consumer that don't consume this imported product that doesn't have the seal, but consume mine that has a seal, because mine has gone through a process. It's being audited on a yearly basis by Ghana Standards Authority, by Food and Drugs Authority, by certain qualified auditors who are food technologists who come to manufacturing and check how many of those imported products are we able to go and check where it's being produced from. But they're in our markets. So you are telling the people that once I have this seal, I'm giving you that guarantee. So buy mine, don't buy the imported ones. So it's about competition and quality of your products. So in doing so, we're actually helping to improve the patronage of made in Ghana products as against the imported ones. You cannot guarantee the quality. But what it means is that if we are promoting our local products, we are also giving them the opportunity to market their products out there, because this is going to be an international seal that if it's well patronized outside, your product can be exported easily.
The quality assurance seal was introduced by German government GIZ in 2013 as a nutrition deficiency program to address nutritional challenges in Ghana. The 4-year program, which ends this year, is being taken over by the AGI and Ghana Standard Authority as a sustainability mechanism. It was able to fortify 3 products for the period. Daniel Amankwa is technical advisor for Affordable Food Nutrition for Women project at GIZ. He explains how the initiative succeeded in commercializing solutions to improve micronutrient deficiencies in local industries.
It's a very big success because we are contributing to the reduction of micronutrient deficiencies in Ghana. So we are happy. One of the major challenges will be with the kind of raw material certifications we have in our country. Our country is developing still, and raw materials used by the industry are not really readily traceable. So the traceability issue is a big challenge. And also I would say the laboratory testing of food products is there, but still there's more room for improvement, as not every single micronutrient can be tested in country, and which, if you ask me, it needs to be upgraded.
Prince Apia reporting.
And that's it for business. We are taking a short break. We'll be back with more news.
It has emerged that 4 sets of dams in the northern region may have contributed to recent floods in the capital, Tamale. The flooding in the last few years, apart from being more frequent, is causing a lot more devastation. The recent floods displaced over 6,000 people. City authorities have attributed it to heavy rains, poor drainage systems and blocked waterways. But Northern Region correspondent Martina Bogre has been speaking with a dam expert who believes dilapidated dams had a role to play.
At least 4 people were confirmed dead when torrential rains caused historic floods in the northern region at the end of July. Farms, homes, and livestock were swept away. Dead animals made life extremely uncomfortable as the smell of decaying animals filled the air. Much of the blame was put on poor planning of the metropolis. But according to Principal Technical Engineer of the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, Swalisu Jalilu Ajaska, the dams in the metropolis could have contained the volumes of water that flooded the metropolis if they were in good shape.
This is the Waterworks Dam, but unfortunately, many years ago it got breached
and since then it has never been rehabilitated. And it also serves as a flood control structure. The recent flood that actually hit Tamale, this very structure could have performed marvelously to forestall such floods. The bleak nature of it allowed much water to go freely and uncontrollably into the Gumani community. Currently, look at the water that is still running since after the flood. And such water, when it comes and it is stored inside the dam, it's gradually being released into the drain so that it goes with reduced pressure and cannot cause any harm. But unfortunately, the flood that came, there was no structure here that can reduce the velocity of the water. It went freely into the community, causing a lot of damage. This very big section is actually a heavy one because it cannot be rehabilitated by the community. It needs an external intervention.
At the Gumani Junction, Mr. Jalilu Ajaska said the drains were not big enough to contain the water. He suggested another dugout constructed in the forest to receive water from Chogo, Nyoni Waterworks and surrounding communities.
The distance is very wide, more than 3 kilometers. If another dugout could be constructed within this very forest to receive the flood and then gradually be released into the drain. Because the drain constructed here are not capacity to contain the major flood that hit Tamale recently. So we advise that a fresh dugout be constructed within the forest so that it receives this floods, and later on we can gradually release the water into the drains we have here.
He further explained how the confluence of water from the various parts of the metropolis ended up at the Gariba Lodge waterway and moved into the Gumani Nyanshebu Tahafu communities, causing flooding.
This very area is the major point where all the forces, the water meet from Gumani, Chokumana, and then Tipoli Yapansi. There are 3 ways where the water meets here. This very water that actually puts the lady that passed away during the flood into the main one comes from Chokumana, the dugout with ritual visited, and through the agric forest to Garba Lodge. This is where the car slipped into the sub-drain, and it was the sub-drain water that pushed the lady's car into the main drain, and this is the main drain.
You're still watching Journeys Prime here on Journeys on Multi TV. The Police Motor Traffic and Transport Department described as disappointing government's decision to suspend the controversial mandatory toll levy. Government has announced that it has decided to seek an amendment of the levy to, among others, seek the amendment of the law to, among others, remove the mandatory clause in there. Though this has been welcomed by the public and civil society organizations, Director of Training and Research at MTTD, DSP Alexander Obeng, says the inability of the police to remove abandoned vehicles at the moment means the threat to lives is still present.
What pertained is still confronting us with regard to the threats that disabled vehicles pose to all of us, either because the owner is not capable of removing it, coupled with the fact that the state that is mandated by law to protect public health and safety on the road through police is also not capable, because the logistics that is required, other than the hands and legs, is not there. And so that is the situation. And therefore, so that's why you are disappointed. The road safety book of Ghana since 1952 to today, and moving on to tomorrow. We should not be solely headed, but know that the road safety problem that confronts us is that when a vehicle broke down in certain strategic locations that pose serious threat to our lives and property, particularly on highways, because we have long much of our road to transit goods and vehicles.
The Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, meanwhile, is demanding a total review of the Legislative Instrument 2180/2012 and a stop to what they describe as police intimidation of drivers on the road. Even though the drivers commend government for halting implementation of the controversial levy, which was also a part of the LI, they insist there are many more problematic areas, citing spot fines and mandatory change of number plates. PRO for the concerned drivers, Francis Apia, and Director of Training and Research at MTTD DSP Alexander Bing, who challenged the claim, engaged in a banter on the polls.
This Road Traffic Regulation Act, LI 2180, we are pleading the leaders that a whole lot of loopholes is inside this law. Okay. But I can tell you that even you media self, you don't have idea about this law.
So you're supposed to renew your number plate every 2 years. But they decided to make it 6 months.
Yes, 6 months. And you know, the minister tell us that it's not time yet, so you should. I mean, hold on. When we tell them that once it's inside the book, they will bring it because it's check like this toy. Ghanaians is inside this book. Then no Ghanaian no. Ghana and say there's something inside this book. Okay. You get my point? Okay. And they just bring it, and Ghanaians are complaining, so that's why we are calling the government that there's a plenty loopholes.
And I know this LI is also going through review. But I instructed on that one too. And I was privy to be part of what that Ghana project. That the intention that the state had at the time was that very soon we are going to automate all vehicle records in Ghana. Okay. Very soon, Spotify will start. Very soon, we are going to automate all license holders' records. Very soon, it will start. It has to start.
DSP mentioned, she said something about this thing is not done yet.
Okay, so yeah, that's why they are not bringing it. Even though it is in the law, what he's saying is that even though it is in the law, yes, they don't have the things that will help them to implement it right now.
Thank you.
They are not going to implement it.
Almost all mobile tracker can because of tracking the car Nintendo mom device. I mean, person use a tracking device. Me, I can buy my tracking device and track my car.
Okay, so
with security officers
give me your
around, but then you put your personal tracking device. That is monitored only your room.
My sister.
And so please wait. There are certain things that we have to put modalities in place. When the system, all the prerequisites are there, and the state is going, I'm saying that nobody can resist it. However, I don't expect the state also to just impose.
They can monitor for us without taking money from us. Taking money from the drivers every time, and the Ghanaians is too much.
It's too much.
It's too much. Okay. Regulation 157.
Okay.
Yes. Now, if I'm right,
you have an issue with that one? What's the problem?
The issues we have is, you see, that's why this government came recently. I don't know. Please, for after intimidate driver for. We are not saying it's all the police.
Okay.
We don't know. They tried to bring this sport fund last year, and who did they be for them not to bring it? We are not saying sport fund is not good, but they have to put measures in place before.
Like, sport fund is like the issue of the renewal of the number plate.
Okay.
That we have not yet started it.
Okay.
Because there has to be certain modalities on the ground. First, you must automate the vehicle records. 2, you must automate license holders' records. You cannot talk. So it has nothing to do with changing
what did you
license.
say? No, so DSP, please, I'll come to you. DSP, allow me, DSP. Very well. I'll come back to you. DSP, hold on for me. I'll come back to you for.
Police for intimidating a driver for.
The National Road Safety Commission says it is procuring speed cameras to improve highway monitoring and reduce road accidents. It is also considering spot fines to inject more sanity and discipline into the road traffic management system. Head of Communications Kwame Kodua-Etuahene says procurement processes have begun to ensure implementation begins by close of year. He spoke with Joy News' Eastern Region correspondent Kofi Siang on the sidelines of the Commission's mid-year conference in Koforidua.
Ghana is grappling with issues of motor crashes as a result of gross disregard for traffic laws on our roads by users. This has resulted in dozens of people losing their lives every year. Statistics from police and the NRLC indicate over 2,000 accidents have been recorded since the beginning of this year. Suggestions on how to mitigate the effects of road accidents have settled on the introduction of speed cameras. Mr. Kodua-Etuahene will not give timeline for rollout of the gadget, though he says piloting has already commenced in parts of the country.
So for some time we've been talking about introducing speed cameras to complement the efforts of the police. We have a police to population ratio of 1 to about 780. It's not enough, far inadequate. If the police is to be visible, to be able to police these vehicles and drivers to prevent abuses of the law and so on and so forth. So that's also on the cards. I mean, as I speak to you, the service is being procured. As we speak, there are some speed cameras deployed on some roads, except that we haven't taken the trouble to make it public.
On the spot fine, Mr. Kodua Tuahene says the commission is liaising with the police on implementation.
There are about 38 offences, street liability offences that could be enforced with a spot fine. You don't need to trace too much evidence when those offences are paid. For instance, you are not on a seatbelt, it is obvious that you don't have your seatbelt. The law says you should have your license while driving, you don't have it. It is an offence. You don't need to prove much.
Meanwhile, some drivers have been reacting to the proposed measures.
I'm not in idea with that initiative because I don't understand why they should bring all these policies. This Nana Addo government is here to disturb us. You can imagine, recently they came with this idea of towing levy. Then we are struggling with that. Now you are coming with cameras in town and all kind of different issues concerning drivers. I wonder why Nana Addo should be doing this.
The spot fine is fine. That one is fine. Meaning there's no corruption again. If I know I commit offense, then on the spot I pay it. But when they say the speed cameras, you need them on the highways. But for town like this, we don't go speed. So if you plant speed camera in the town, there will be no need.
Now, there have been massive transfers of police personnel out of the Upper West region without any replacements. Deputy Upper West Regional Minister Amidu Chinia Isahako said out of a total of 1,500 personnel in the region, 917 were transferred out of the region in the last 2 years. He said the low number of police personnel has led to increasing crime rate in the region. Mr. Amidu, who spoke with Joy News on the sidelines of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council meeting, appealed to the Interior Minister and the Inspector General of Police to come to their aid.
By law, regional coordinating councils in the country are enjoined to hold at least 2 meetings in a year to enable the regional coordinating councils take stock of activities of the preceding months and also lay plans for programs for the upcoming months. It is based on the aforementioned that the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council held its first meeting to discuss pertinent issues that are inimical to the growth of the region. Key among them is the massive transfer of policemen out of the region without any replacement. Deputy Upper West Regional Minister Amidu Chinia Isahako stated that the reduction of the staff strength of the police from 1,500 to 917 has opened security gaps in the region.
Between 2015 to date, about 583 police personnel have been transferred out of the region without replacement. And we've also realized that the crime rate somehow has increased because we have a lot of armed robberies within the region. We have a lot of stealing of motorbikes and other items from people's homes going on. And we are very disturbed, we are very worried. We think that the people of the Upper West region are not getting the best of security. And once this report emerged from the Regional Police Command indicating this massive transfer of officials from the region without replacement, we think that we have to appeal to the Ministry of Interior and to the IGP to, as a matter of agency, bring more men, more police personnel to the region so that they can man the various police posts.
He also hints of plans by the Upper West and Northern Region Security Councils to hold joint security meetings to look into the issue of the increasing cases of armed robbery on the Wabwale Bombay Road.
most of the robberies occur in the northern region jurisdiction, but the people who are affected, 99% of them are people who are either from Upper West or who are coming to do business in the Upper West. And we think that this is scaring people from coming to the Upper West, and therefore we are, as a regional coordinating council, we want to have a meeting of the RESEC of Upper West region with the RESEC of Northern region so that we can together discuss how we can ensure that the part manned by the Northern Regional Police, together with our support, we are able to control the crime rate and the armed robbery on the road so that we can guarantee the security of the people who come to the region to do business and to do investment. Otherwise, we'll be cutting away a lot of investment opportunities.